Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here in Riga, Latvia, coming to you from our Saftechnika studio, August 21st, and we are extremely happy to welcome you all here for the second in a row mini spotlight webinar. If you really had a chance to join us last time, then we had a really fantastic roundtable discussion with leading exporters and startup companies from Latvia to the US. This time around, we have something even more special prepared for you. This time around, we have 4 gentlemen that are leading experts in their field. First off, we're going to have a keynote address to open officially this fantastic event by the ambassador to Latvia from the US, so that's going to be in just a moment. Then we are going to find out more about the Framework Mission Latvia from the Director General himself, Kaspars Rožkalns, from the Investment and Development Agency from Latvia. And afterwards, we're going to have 2 fantastic presentations by leading startups that bring Latvia's name to the world, TestDevLab and Printful. All of that coming your way just in a few moments. My name is Līva Stūrmane. I'm the Managing Director for the Latvian Exporters Association, the Red Jackets. And we have been here for the last 10 years to really boost Latvian exporters abroad. So it is my extreme pleasure, together with the LACC, Latvian American Chamber of Commerce, and the Investment and Development Agency in Latvia, to co-organize and host all of these events. We are planning a series of 10 events throughout 2023 and 24. So without further ado, let's kick off this fantastic event for today. And please give a warm welcome to Christopher Robinson, the U.S. Ambassador to Latvia. Please.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Liva, and thank you to Mission Latvia and to Leah for organizing this event. Tonight, as you've already heard, you will hear from some great experts about business opportunities in Latvia, about exporting to the United States, and tapping into the American market. Before we get to those experts, I would like to take just a couple minutes and talk about the relationship between the United States and Latvia. Last year, we celebrated 100 years of U.S.-Latvian diplomatic relations. In all this time, Latvia has been more than a strategic partner for the United States. It has been our close friend, and it is an honor to be here as the U.S. Ambassador. We are proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Latvian people in our shared commitment to defend democracy, peace, and security in Europe and around the world. In light of Russia's unprovoked aggression against Ukraine, I want to address a question that frequently comes up in my interactions and conversations with potential investors. Is Latvia safe? And I will tell you unequivocally and clearly the same thing I tell them. Latvia is safe. There's not a safer place, and frankly better place to do business than here in Latvia. Despite shared borders with aggressive neighbors like Russia and Belarus, Latvia's membership in the NATO alliance, in fact, its leadership in the alliance, its leadership in the European Union, and its partnership with the United States serve as continual guarantors of its security. NATO allies, including the United States, are reinforcing our rotational presence on the eastern flank, and as President Biden has repeatedly enforced our Article 5 commitment to defend every inch of NATO territory. As President Biden has said, this is our sacred commitment. But to me, security is more than just military engagement. True security is a flourishing civil society, a robust public participation, strong legal systems, and a dynamic, resilient economy. Looking back, despite challenges that Latvia faced 5 years ago, if we look at Latvia today, Latvia has transformed its regulatory financial system to resist malicious actors. The country is sharing its anti-money laundering experience with other countries and is a leader now on this issue on the world stage. Such a turnaround is remarkable and frankly unprecedented and really speaks to the capabilities and partnership we have with Latvia. The U.S. Embassy is proud to partner with our Latvian friends in these efforts to strengthen the Latvian economy, to engage the government on critical reforms, and to promote transatlantic relationship to make our countries better and stronger. Very clearly, Latvia is full of opportunity. Whether we are talking about a commitment to green energy and the development that it brings, excellent port infrastructure, or a highly educated workforce ready to add value to your products, both digital and physical, Latvia is a leader. The Latvian government has excellent resources to help new businesses find their footing here in Latvia. But through my effusive praise and honest belief that Latvia and Latvians are excellent business partners, I have one small note that I'd like to also raise before I finish. I think above all, Latvians do not sing their praises enough for the hard work they've done to transform this economy and make it a great place to do business. This country and its people have so many accomplishments, and much of it, I think, flies under America's radar. And this brings me to my final request to all of you that are participating here tonight. Whether you reside in Latvia or are part of the diaspora around the world, we would encourage you to continue to share your successes. I will be in Boston next month for the Spotlight Latvia, and I will be asking the same thing of everyone that I meet there. Find ways to highlight Latvia's positive story. Following decades of occupation, the Latvia of 2023 is a dynamic, thriving democracy bursting with opportunities for investment and business. So I look forward to those opportunities to engage with various sectors, with companies and organizations to develop U.S.-Latvia cooperation. You can count on my personal support and that of my embassy team to help facilitate and support those efforts. I hope to see all of you in Boston, and thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight.
Dear Ambassador Robinson, thank you so much for your kind address really here to really kick off tonight's event for Mini Spotlight Volume 2. It's been truly an honor, and it's great to hear that you're going to personally witness and be a part of the Spotlight Boston event. That is just happening in 1 month, so really make sure to Google right after this. Spotlight Boston within a month, September 21st and 22nd, is going to lead and bring together leading companies from biotechnology and pharmaceuticals, really representatives of the Latvian government. We have a rumor that the president himself is going to witness this event, whether confirmed or unconfirmed. But let's keep our fingers crossed. And this really is an event just within a month that is in line with this event as well as the name. And our colleagues really have done a fantastic job to put together a fantastic program for you to bring together leading exporters and startups together with the leading countrymen of both Latvia and the US. And therefore, I would really like to give the floor now to listen more and hear about the framework for Mission Latvia. As you see, we have a few chocolate boxes actually here together with Leah, and we are really happy that they have the country branding has really been up at a new level, and we really want to hear you about all the opportunities to really engage and become ambassadors for Latvia abroad. So please, Kaspar from Leah, Investment and Development Agency of Latvia, Director General, please tell us more about it, what you have planned and what are the options to engage.
Yes, thank you, Leah. Fantastic. Good evening in Latvia, good afternoon, I think, or even good morning in some places in US. So my name is Kaspars Rožkalns, and I'm the Director General of Investment and Development Agency of Latvia. And today I'm here to explain a little bit more about where Latvia is heading, why we are heading that direction. And as just a few minutes ago, Mr. Ambassador Robinson told you that try to find a way how to engage in distributing this positive message. So Mission Latvia is just the instrument, how to take those stories and how to bring them to the world. Right, so we start with what is our mission, and our mission is to connect the international talent from different fields and focus on sustainable innovation to tackle not only the problems that Latvia is facing, but the problems the world is facing. Because when we did the research on international branding, then we figured out that you only care about the countries which are doing something above their own needs, which are doing something to the other, good to the other countries. So obviously we figured out what is the main reason, what to each of us, it is this vision, where do we want to head. And what we figured out that we want to live long and high quality life. And this is why we come up with the sustainable innovations. It means that the innovations are good if you can use them in the long term. Therefore, not only you, but your kids and grandkids. Therefore, that's our target. The thing is, why Latvia and why US or maybe Germany or other countries could go in this sustainable innovation way? And this is one part of the answer. Obviously, we figured out what are the Latvian average Latvian 3 values. And number one is we are connecting people. We are connecting worlds apart. It means that we are in crossroads from a historical point of view. But actually, what does it mean? It means we're just less than 2 million people here in Latvia. And it's 2 handshakes away from the Prime Minister. Currently, we have a government change. So if you know me, you're just 1 handshake away from the current Prime Minister, probably 1 handshake away from the next Prime Minister. So this is, if you need something to get done, you can easily find out the right people and can easy to move fast here in Latvia. The second value is we like to have a challenge. It means that we especially good this year in Ice Hockey Championship. It means that nobody believes that we'll probably get out of the group. But when we face the team like Slovenia, we play on a Slovenian level. It's a tough game. We win by slight margin. When we play Norway, it's a tough game. We win by slight margin. And when we play US for the 3rd bronze medal, it's a tough game, and we won by a slight margin. So we raised to that challenge. A natural playground. This is why for the last 100 years or so, we're always lacking resources. And if you are lacking the resources, you have to innovate. You have to figure out. So naturally, you have to think out of the box. And this is our value, that we look at the problems differently than Western Europe. And if the investors have a challenge, if they need to reach out to European 400 million market, and if they want to do it in some different way to beat their competition, then obviously the Latvia is the right answer where to go. And it's not just words. We have also proven this all by our companies, and actually the companies that are going to speak today. Let's say the Printful, that's our first unicorn, or Test Lab, that's probably heading to be a unicorn, but actually is working quite well in the US market. Are the companies that combine the technology, the factor of sustainability, and R&D. So this is the type of the ecosystem where we see that the Latvia is thriving. And if you look, these 5 sectors are priority ecosystems and sectors that we see the innovations are actually popping up. And these innovations are not only for 2 million market that is Latvia size, but these innovations are actually for the world. We can see the biomedicine, bioeconomy, smart materials, photonics, smart energy solutions, and IT sector. These are all the sectors that are on top of the mind of the world leaders. How to make energy green, cheap, so it would be sustainable. How to use the materials in the way that actually you can use the same products for a longer time. Biomedicine, how to develop the different type of the drugs, especially for that one person. Bioeconomy, how to, if we know that currently the world's consumption is way more than the world can sustain in the long term. So how to use bioeconomy and to sustain the 8 billion people. So these are the questions that the world has, and these ecosystems are thriving here in Latvia and popping up with innovations. Let's say if we go, these are just few examples in this area. Currently, we're actually broadcasting from SAF Technica, and that's the RNet 4. That's the device that measures CO2 levels in your offices, in your homes. So if the CO2 level is high, then it's hard to concentrate. And obviously, then you know when to open the window. And at that moment, when you open the window and CO2 drops down, you just become smarter, and it's easier to concentrate. And that is so easy. And if you have the sensor, you can do that. The Grow Glass, that's a company who has glass cover that you can really clearly see a lot of beautiful art. For example, the Mona Lisa is covered by that. Let's say Azeron, that's the company who provides that's not a mouse, that's actually a keyboard. The gaming keyboard that you can custom make, you can order online from anywhere in the world, and they 3D print it to you and ship it to you. Mikrotik, that's the 5G routers that are produced outside of it's in Latvia, so obviously outside of the Asia, and that is one of the leading exporting company to US. When just a couple of years ago, the biggest products to export was food products and wood products, and currently the second biggest group of the products that we export to US is tech. So that's clearly the sign that we can, and we have those success stories that we can show to the world. So to sum up this, we are on a mission. The mission Latvia, it's all about how we can collaborate. These dots in the logo Mission Latvia represents each one of us. If we align on the message, even with limited resources, even with just 2 million people, even with all the things that explain why we are ready to raise for that challenge. This is where we see the mission. The mission is Latvia. It means that if we work together, we can achieve, first of all, the economical transformation, but second of all, we can also explain all of these great things to the world. And if you're interested in any of those stories, if you're interested in becoming the brand ambassador, becoming the Mission Latvia ambassador, then please use the QR code or go to the link that you can see in latvia.eu. You can see those stories, you can check the videos, you can figure out if you want to be in, and just become the brand ambassador. This, from me, this is it. And remember, the Latvia is always restless in nature, but we're united in mission, and mission is Latvia. Thank you very much. Back to Līva.
Indeed. Thanks so much. We really truly hope that all of you get a chance to witness latvia.eu and really become Latvia's ambassadors, both the diaspora and the local US business people that are hopefully watching this event. There are fantastic really videos and tools on the Latvia EU website that you can really use to share and bring together the Latvia's brand abroad. So there are videos that you also saw today about the animation of this new brand identity that we currently have and are also using for the mini spotlight videos, as well as many others. There are videos on business and innovation, as well as tourism attractions, as well as the official Mission Latvia video. So make sure to check them out. They are fantastic and free to use also for social media purposes. And really take the opportunity and at liberty to use them accordingly. Next up, I want to invite one of our startups. As we said that we're going to have two fantastic stories here for you today. And just before that, I want to remind you that you have the opportunity to ask questions, whether by raising your hand afterwards and saying them out loud, or more preferably writing them down in the comment section. Or in the live chat section, and we will be sure to pass them on to our startups and CEOs that are ready actually to answer questions. And this current live debate is a part of the apparent appeal of the live event, so truly make use of that as well. And next up, we have a company that is based here in Latvia, but employing more than 500 people internationally. And that their CEO, Edvīns Grīnfelds, TestDevLab, is here to tell us more about how they got started in the US, why exactly the US, how big of a market is it to them, and what are the key lessons learned going forward. So please, Edvīns, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Līva, for introductions. And thanks, Leah, for hosting this event and inviting myself. I will be happy to share our experience and our story and different lessons that we learned entering the United States market. Good. So yeah, once again, myself, I'm Ervins Greenfelds. I'm one of the founders of company TestDev Lab. And let me first kind of introduce a bit more who we are and what we do, so you get a context. As a company, TestDev Lab, we were founded 12 years ago. And we, as Līva mentioned, we employ more than 500 people. Most of us are here from Latvia, but we do have office premises in different countries, all Baltics, Estonia, Lithuania, as well as we have office in Skopje, North Macedonia, and in Malaga, Spain, which we recently opened. And all of our engineers are ISTQB certified, as well as our company is ISO 27001 and 9001 certified. To kind of explain you a bit more what exactly we do. Okay, just a second. So we are a company focusing on different quality assurance services, products, and innovations. So be it manual testing, be it test automation, be it security tests, usability, accessibility tests. And not only that, we have done a lot of innovations. For example, we have built laboratories for audio and video quality testing. We have built laboratories for battery and data usage testing. We have laboratories also for location testing, as well as we have built a couple of products on our own, like Loadero, that is a tool for load and performance testing, as well as TestRay, which is a tool for test automation usage. And so why United States market is so important for us? To give you some numbers, like last year alone, 65% of all of our revenues did come from United States. In total, we looked at the numbers. In total, we have exported more than $40 million as our kind of services and products to United States. And so by far, United States is the largest market where we are exporting. And what's interesting is we don't have any presence in the United States, nor we have any people hired in the United States. So we do everything essentially from here, from Latvia. And also, to give you kind of a couple examples is what companies we are working with in the United States. So as you can see, like for example, clients of us are Microsoft, Twilio, Zoom. Like for Zoom, for example, I wanted to mention they are using our innovative audio and video quality testing laboratories, like same Discord, and many other companies like Pinterest, Argo, very well-known names, as well as probably startups, less-known names, but kind of bunch of companies with whom we are kind of working and exporting our products and services to the United States. So probably, like good question, what one may ask would be how we started, how did we get our kind of first client? And of course, like honestly, when we started our business, it would be quite impossible just to, let's say, to outreach clients and hey, we are a company from Latvia, we are providing testing services. It wouldn't kind of work out. So very first clients, what we got in the United States was using our personal connections, myself and second co-founder Andres. We both worked at Skype many years, and we got many connections, contacts from there. And that's how we started our journey. Many of our contacts did work in the United States or have relocated to the United States, and they were mutual trust. So we explained what we do, and word by word, like we got initial clients. So very first client with whom we started working in the United States was Twilio, and from then, step by step, like we later expanded to getting more and more customer base in the United States. And let me share kind of a couple of approaches about, from our experience, what works and what doesn't work in terms of attracting new businesses and new clients in the United States. So first, cold approach. By cold approach, I mean just sending out emails, LinkedIn notes, explaining what we do, what our services. That doesn't work. It's kind of highly ineffective, maybe in a very kind of large volumes, but in general, for US market, we consider it not as an effective kind of means of attracting new customers. Next one is inbound leads, how we call it, when customers come to us, like via web page, via social media channels, any other kind of presence where we have, and that we would say is somewhat effective, and it's getting kind of more and more effective in recent years. As we have developed our brand, as we have good market presence, more and more clients do find us. Let's say we have a homepage or social media, write to us, we need help with testing, we reply, and that's how we secure kind of new businesses in the United States. And yeah, I would say it becomes more effective, but probably two most effective ways how we can attract new businesses. One is physical presence in the United States. It means going to different conferences, even to Leah organized events, meetups. There's kind of many opportunities in the United States where we can go physically, and that is quite effective. Meeting people, they are explaining what we do, building connections, that works out quite good. And of course, what is kind of most effective is personal connections, people from Latvian diaspora. That helps a lot where there is this mutual trust. We got referrals, references from those people, and that's how we can expand our business. So that's kind of most effective one from our perspective. And let me share a couple of key learnings over those 12 years, what we learned, what works, what doesn't work when entering the United States. So first one, I definitely strongly believe that building relationships with people is a must, because in the end, securing business with some company is actually conversation and making a deal person to person. So somebody needs to have mutual trust each with other in order to sign deal and start business relationship. So that relationship building is very important. Next one, even once you kind of build initial relationship with somebody or with company, it's important to keep it on, meaning frequent visits to the United States, meeting people, socializing, and keeping that connection active. So that's also a key to build and expand business. And another learning from our point of view is we've seen over those 12 years that it's much easier, at least from our company perspective, is to attract new client, not with everything what we do. Like we can't really go and say we do everything around quality assurance, manual tests, accessibility tests, security tests, but we really need to find some small niche what potential customer may want, be it audio video testing, be it accessibility testing, be it ISO advisory services, and like open initial doors, show that we can deliver, build the trust, and then expand from there. So that have worked quite well in the United States for us. Another learning from our perspective is being ready for ups and downs. So United States is, I would say, quite aggressive market. When things are going, when things are good, you can really grow very fast. Customers are asking to add more people to the teams, they buy more services. It really accelerates significantly fast. But on the other hand, when things doesn't go so well, it can be vice versa. It can be that potential customers can say, okay, you know, there's economic recession, we need to slow down, we need to, let's say, reduce amount of team that works for them, or other kind of means of reducing the service. So the learning here is that once we enter the United States market and once we start working with some new customer, we need to be ready that possible turbulence may happen because as I mentioned, you know, like it could be fast upscale and vice versa, you know, like we need to be ready to adapt when things kind of go down. Another important point is for us, Latvian diaspora have helped a lot. People are definitely ready to help with referrals, with advices, with connections, with anything what they can. And we have built a lot of great connections with people from Latvian diaspora. As they help us, we share kind of mutual trust, exchange experiences, and that is definitely have helped us kind of significantly. So would advise any business who wants to enter the United States market to socialize with people from Latvian diaspora. And the last one, what works quite well with us, frequently companies from the United States, they are a bit skeptical about time zone differences. Once they learn that there's, depending of course, with either we work with West Coast, East Coast, but there could be up to 10 hours time difference. And sometimes companies are a bit skeptical how exactly we will collaborate if there's so huge time difference, and many questions around that. But we have learned we have made it as an advantage, especially in software testing business, where let's say work and development happens during daytime United States, and testing happens while they sleep. In the mornings they get results, so it could be significant advantage and a plus. And still there's kind of a couple of hours overlap where teams can meet and get updates and socialize, so that works out for us quite well. And lastly, so what's next for our United States journey? We have been thinking already with co-founder Andres for a couple of years, and probably it's time to finally open an entity in the United States, start building a team. We just need to basically take a step there, so that's definitely a next step. When, hard to say, but that's some things that we have in plans for sure. With that, thank you for listening. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks so much, Ervin. And we do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Actually, we want to start with the one that you ended on about not having a U.S. presence there. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of doing a business in the U.S. without a U.S. legal entity or personnel?
Well, advantages, of course, there's anyone whom we ask, there's one significant advantage if there's local sales representatives, account managers who can meet existing clients, new clients every day. So for sure it helps a lot, to maintain relationships. We don't need to travel ourselves to United States. There's somebody locally who can do it. So from that perspective, it definitely could help to expand business. Disadvantages, it's quite tough also, speaking with many other companies, it's very tough to build a team, to find people whom we can trust, who can actually understand our values, help us expand the United States. So it's it's quite complex task to build a team in the United States.
Personnel, definitely. You were also saying that it's good to have a niche in the U.S. market. Like if you would want to expand, better set your foot on something small and really excel in that. If you had to predict the next 3 to 5 years for TestDev Lab, if you had to choose a niche, what would you say is the way to go for you?
We've seen a lot of demand for accessibility testing. And for audio-video communication product testing, and those definitely would be niches that we would kind of use to attract way more customers from the United States and use that to attract and close deals with new companies.
Great. What are your thoughts on implementing IoT or Internet of Things systems coupled with machine learning to predict malfunction risk?
Well, we definitely see it also as a kind of strong industry, and we have already many clients from kind of that sector, and true, that we see also as a growing industry, and we are building already kind of new products and services that are tailored specifically for that industry. So stay tuned also for some kind of new updates. But that's for sure something that.
Fantastic. I really want to touch upon what you said also about using and tapping into the potential of the diaspora. Maybe walk us through how you actually did that. Did you have a few good people in mind or some contacts that you had acquired, or did you just write them up, or was it a cold sales call?
It was not cold sales call. It somehow happened naturally. A couple of people I was introduced by my ex-Skype colleagues. Couple of people were introduced by colleagues from LIA, and of course, once we build this initial kind of people of trust circle with Latvian diaspora people, they connect us with more and more people, so it's quite easy, to take it from there and expand. So it happened quite naturally.
It's great to hear that you really are emphasizing also the Latvian permanent representatives that are in the U.S. and now we have both on each coast of the U.S. So we really should utilize their contact as well as that they are there on the local ground and they can really help you. So I think that you mentioned also that these events like Spotlight Boston that is upcoming in a month is a very valuable tool to really showcase both your business and meet representatives from that side. Yes, let's also talk about what do you think is the biggest advantage of working here from Latvia? What do you think we can offer to the U.S. that maybe is exquisite or
Well, one like when it comes to testing business, well, definitely we have smart people. I think we do have a strong and good education system that is a good foundation to prepare good software quality engineers, both from development and testing perspective. As I mentioned, I do believe that time zone difference could be an advantage. Depends on the industry, of course, but in our industry, and I think in general in software development, not only testing, it can be an advantage. Culture-wise, I think it's also kind of good fit when it comes to building mutual relationships, connections, discussions. What I have seen from my experience, like people tend to get along quite easily with people from the United States. So altogether makes it like good fit for strong business relationships.
Have you also had a case where you got some help by a different Latvian startup or a company? Did you all pitch together in a name or really to reach a product or a difficult client or to solve a situation?
Not in a sense of official, let's say, kind of joining together forces and attracting some client, but definitely in Latvia, companies are frequently sharing some tips and tricks and experiences or connections or referrals each with other, and I think that is kind of really good. Same, I used to live in Estonia for many years, and I think in Estonia it's maybe even a bit stronger, so they help a lot each other kind of to expand with referrals, with connections, but I see more and more that happening in Latvia. Even myself, I'm frequently having calls with other kind of business owners. Sometimes they ask advice from me or some connections, and it could be kind of vice versa, me asking, and so happy to see that culture is building up in Latvia, like one company helping others, and that's working quite well.
Definitely, fantastic. And do you agree with the Ambassador Robinson said at the very beginning of the event that all we need currently is marketing to really showcase these fantastic both companies, startups, enterprises, fantastic things that are happening here?
That can never be enough, so 100% agree. So,
yeah, as you lived in Estonia so long, that could definitely be something that we need to get even more here in Latvia. This courage and self-awareness and really being able to showcase everything that we have to the world. Thank you so much, Edwin. All the best on your future endeavors, and let's hear from the next speaker. Thanks so much. Ladies and gentlemen, time is flying by. Thank you so much for using also the chat option to write down questions. We really value them. So really make sure to also write some questions for Raitis because he's going to have a fantastic presentation. And really we get to witness firsthand the first and currently only Latvian unicorn Printful. And Raitis Puriņš, Head of Marketing, is here to tell us all about how they got started more than 10 years ago, how they are doing currently, what methods they are using, how are they sharing Latvia's story and brand and image abroad, and where they are off to next. Raiti, please, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Hey everyone. So
presentation, if you need
presentation,
it,
yes,
30 slides.
Cool. Yeah, my slides. Thanks. Happy to be here. So Raitis from Printful. I'd like to see my slides as well. So I'm a head of marketing at Printful. Been working for the company for almost 7 years, and I'm the head of marketing. And today I'm probably doing more marketing for Latvia than for Printful, and I'm happy to talk about what we have done in the past 7 years, why we are happy to work from Latvia, and how we've been working with the U.S. market. So when I joined a while ago, actually pretty small company, marketing team was 5 people, and at one point the marketing team was 120 people. So we did a lot. So and I'm happy to see the growth. And only one person from that team is currently working for the US market, and the rest of the marketing team is in Latvia and Spain and Poland. So we're doing that mostly from Latvia, from Europe. And I still have to talk about what is Printful. I can give you a boring present definition, and I was joking that you can just read on a slide, but I give you an example, and I will give my personal example. We offer a lot of products. So what we do, you can come with your own design. If you have an idea, you just want to put your face on a shirt or a funny slogan, you can do that on a shirt, on more than 300 products. But we offer something else. We offer that anyone can launch their e-commerce store. And I give as I said, my personal example. I play handball, team handball for those who are watching from the US, because I know the handball means something else in your country. And this is my ex-club's merch store. And it's been alive for 4 or 5 years and has had only 2 orders. But what Printful offers is that I can actually run the store. I can brag that probably that's still the only club who has their own merch store. Because what I did, I put the logo on a shirt, on a mug, on a hoodie, on a kid's shirt. I put it online, and the magic happens that when someone actually wants to order the one, I'm not keeping that somewhere in my house or in a warehouse. Only then order comes to the Printful, and basically we fulfill the order and send to the end customer, and it looks like it's coming from the handball club. And it's been 5 years, 2 orders, and it just works for me. If it wouldn't be Printful, I would never able to actually offer that. And we do that for a lot of customers. Here's another shop, Diversity Shop, a local one from Mozaika, LGBTQ+ community from Latvia. And they can offer multiple designs, and we are proud that we are supporting the store and allowing them to actually earn some money by offering the merch, and on the other hand also allowing them to actually share what they believe and what they're proud of with the local community. And that could happen to multiple bigger, larger businesses. So that's what we do. We allow anyone to start an e-commerce store. It doesn't matter if you're a small business, or maybe you're Netflix and you want to order something always on demand. And our core market is the US market. Here in the USA, somewhere in California, you will see a lot of pictures from my life. And 80% of our customers are in the US, and that's our core market actually from day one. We have presence in the US. We are the ones who fulfill the orders. So for us, we have to be fast. So Tesla Lab, we have to have a local presence, and we started in the US market. So we have facilities in places where we need to deliver goods quickly and fast. And the core market is US market. We have locations in Europe, and we have partners in Brazil, Japan, and Australia as well. And also have the local facility here in Riga, Latvia. If you ever come to Latvia, that will be one of the first things you will see leaving the airport, because we have a facility right there. And we are the first unicorn from Latvia. Hope we are only the first one. There's more coming up. So we are valued more than $1 billion, and I'm really proud of that, to be part of this story, and looking forward to accelerate that and see more unicorns born in Latvia. And what's been the success of Printful? So we've been international business from day one. So from day one, we started global, and there's just one basically truth. If you start in Latvia, just less than 2 million people, while in the US there's more than 300 million people, and there's even more people who speak English. And I think our co-founder Davis had a saying, and that's changed from how many employees we have, and now I can easily say we are more than 1,000 employees. If we had started a business in Latvia, probably would be a legit good business, but instead of 1,000 employees, we'd have only 10. So because we started in a big, large market, we're able to just scale the business. And as Erwin said, basically without limits. Like if you do a global business, if you start business in the US, there's no limits to that. And this is my son, Albert, and probably he's using computer to do global business. And I believe probably he'll want to be a YouTuber. He don't know what is that, but it's easy for anyone to start a global business. Here, me sitting in Riga, Latvia, and doing the business in the US market. So the actually only thing you need is your computer. We also see that from our sellers. Anyone using Printful can also sell on Etsy platform. And one of the top sellers on Etsy platform was Guy from Latvia. And probably he did not sell any item to Latvia, and he basically was doing international business from his flat probably in Riga. And one of the key success, and I liked what Erwin said about hiring people and talking with Latvian diasporas there, but one of the success is that we just hired native speakers or nationals abroad. So we're looking for people who, there's a lot of Latvians born in the US who just knows English, know culture, or you can actually find people who have moved there and they could help enter the market. So we did that from early beginnings to just better understand the markets and better understand also the marketing. And you have to understand the culture difference. So it's different working the US market. So, and as also me working with the US market for 7 years, I know what is minor baseball league. I know what is Yellowstone. I know that that's my job to understand what's happening in the US market. And like there's also many practical things, like one of the things everyone, well, in starting to work in the US market should hire local HR. Because for example, laws, if you want to hire someone, the US market is totally different. There's many things you have to actually spend to understand what's the US market be working there. So you have to be really curious, because things which work in Europe, in Latvia, it's different in the US. So you can't basically work by the book there, which you used in local markets. And the one thing I have to, I'm head of marketing here. So, and we have to start with the marketing. And their lab, like their start was different. I'm very often quoting Erwin, so that's also good. So I listened to the previous presentation, you know that. So, and we start with the marketing, because we are not, from the beginning, we were not sales-oriented company. So our goal was that you can find us on Google. That's the best place to be the answer to people questions online. So if someone has a problem, they're searching for you on Bing, on Google, and if you pop as their answer, you will eventually have their business. So that was the goal, to actually make sure that it's easy to find us online. And we be friends with Google. Like if you can't be there via natural results, you can also buy ads. One of the key factors which basically be successful there. And when you start in the US market, you don't always know what will work and what will not work. So you have to have some kind of budget for experiments. And it has to be some kind of share of your marketing budget. And that's Elvis there. So basically he's the guy at Printful who has the largest wallet. And guess what he do? He spends a lot of money with Google and Facebook. So basically he owns our advertisement budget. And basically you have to be just open to that, to losing some money as well, because not all experiments will actually work. But if you're new to the market, there's not like some kind of golden book which will just show that works or that works. You have to be open and testing new things. Something which maybe did not work 4 years ago will work today. So that I have to constantly be experiment. Maybe 5 things will not work, but one will work, and you will have an answer to scale that thing. And that will basically provide growth for your company in the future. And just work with the partners as well. So it's been key factors for us, and there's e-commerce platforms and marketplaces. So one of the things which provided visibility for our business was Shopify, which was back then probably I can't use a small company, but that was not a public company back then. But Shopify is growing fast, and for anyone who wants to start an e-commerce business and want to sell something online, have to sell something online. And as a Printful, we offer that. So if you want to be a customer of Shopify, you have to sell something, and you can add Printful app to your store. And as Shopify is growing and they provide a visibility to their apps and their ecosystem, they'll also provide us a good visibility for free. And many customers still discovering us there on this platform. So basically find the platforms you want to work with, and basically partner with them. That will basically will kickstart your business as well if possible. And for those who want to basically sell online, the good entry place is also marketplaces. So if you want to sell some goods from Latvia even to the US market, you can test the markets with Amazon, with Etsy, eBay, because it's marketplace. People are already going there to actually buy something. If you're launching a brand new store and you're just selling goods, you have to generate traffic to your website. While with Etsy, Amazon, Ebay, if people will search something, they can potentially find your product and buy that for you. And if that works, then scale it up. And just a reminder, and this is our co-founder, Raitis Puriņš from Printful. And you have to basically have this mindset that a lot of ideas will fail, and that's okay. And Printful was not the first idea in the US market. There was many ideas which failed and still failing potentially in the US market. But one of them took off. So with this experimental mindset, there would be no Printful, there would be no Latvian unicorn at the moment. So, and you have to be fine with that. Some things will work, some things will not. And if it works, then you're happy. And there's some advantages. So if you want to be in the US market, you can do the same things others are doing there as well, but it's easier with a unique product. And Printful, in some way, when we started, was a unique solution because we thought of this idea of Printful on offering the merch on demand. You actually don't guarantee anything. We had an e-commerce store, Starter Vitamins, which offered quotes for different startup title slogans like "Get You Done," "Fail, Learn, Experiment." And we're selling posters, and that went really well. And we wanted to basically expand product category, adding t-shirts, mugs, and other products. And it was a risk because we needed to buy inventory and basically have a place from where to fulfill it. But we didn't want to risk that, and we started to find a solution of, is there anyone who can do that on demand with a good API without any limits or any guarantees? And there was not such solution. And that's how idea of Printful was born. And that was something unique. And if you have solved your own problem, guess what? There's potentially some other people who has the similar problem. And you can actually just make their life easier, and that's how you get your first customers. And one of the things and I'm getting this comment also when visiting the US market, some conferences, they can't believe that almost every content on Printful.com website is basically created with someone from Latvia. So you have to basically remember to look and sound local. It's a picture from 4th of July celebration a couple of years ago. So, and it's really important that basically you check grammar, you check you do not use British language, you use American English language on your website. You have to basically, for example, use the right payment processor. Maybe you can display your US office instead of your European office. Stuff like that to show that you're actually an American company while most of your marketing team is sitting in Latvia and Europe. So fake it till you make it in some way. And you have to go to the US market. And this is probably one of the ugliest pictures, but it's one of the recent ones. I was in the licensing show in Las Vegas. For you to be familiar with the market, you have to go to the US market. If most of your customers are in the USA, you will not meet them while sitting in office. So it's different relationship building on the Zoom like we are doing here. That's why we're also having in-person event in Boston in September here as well to meet the people in person. So you have to go there. So that's one of the rules. And it's much easier than it used to be. Also after COVID, it's a little bit easier. And one of the things some people in Latvia, at least also my experience before that, you're able to check what's happening in the US market and just then use that in your local market, Latvian market. If you are competing in the US market, you have to be the first one. You have to innovate. You have to be basically just better than competition. If you're not be better competition, they'll eat you alive. So you have to demand learning from your team. And I have a couple of ways how I do that. I listen to the podcasts, how I build this Master of Scale Exit 5 podcast on marketing, and actually one podcast by Estonian fellow who's actually lives in the US now. There's a couple of the ways how you can actually stay up to date. It's really important that you don't have too many podcasts. You will not listen to all of them. There's also a couple of books I can suggest on learning about a US market and actually how to be up to date what's happening there. The Who one is about hiring, how to hire the right people, not just in the US market, in Latvia as well. Scaling up, there's just a couple of companies in Latvia who understand what's happening in your business when you're basically growing so fast, 100% a year. And it's good to learn from someone else. It's great that you can actually learn from other Baltic companies as well, but there's many books written by many successful companies. Dead by Meeting, my personal favorite because I had too many meetings, and it's not always about too many meetings, about why do you have meetings? Rework, a good book about if you want to start start a startup. Hug Your Haters, that everyone will complain on Twitter or on X, they will love it or hate it, and you have to basically treat that. And probably the most valuable marketing book ever is Word of Mouth Marketing, how actually your customers will be your best marketing channel. Because if you're doing something good or great, they'll be happy to suggest to others as well. So if you have first customers, treat them well, because if you're doing something good for them, they will talk about your company. So that's just amazing. And ask others for help. Like here's, I know maybe Arnis is watching from HTTP Pool, so very often I need some help. I'm doing something I have never done in my life. So basically very often I'm learning by doing, and it's good to talk with someone who's already have done that. So constantly messaging people on LinkedIn or asking some intros, because imagine what's the worst thing could happen. They will not just get back to you. And the good thing, they will get back to you and you'll get their time. So, and you have nothing to lose, like basically sending a cold call email for knowledge. So, and that's also been using, I'm learning from others, because like there's no school who teaches how to manage 100 people marketing team. And that's an example how I do that. So I don't send that very often, but actually I listen to something good, have to make sure that my team is also on the same page. So I send them, please listen to this. And there could be something valuable for that. So we can basically speak in the same language. So it's also important, like if you have a big team, you also have to understand what you're talking about. And the last thing, which I want to basically finish this presentation, like Latvia is 2 million people. And maybe if something did work in your country, it might work in the US. And if it works, you will work with some worldwide known brands like MTV, Coca-Cola, Dunkin' Donuts. You can print merch for SpongeBob, and that's just amazing. And that's opportunity opportunity what the US market can offer. Work with largest brands, which you don't have opportunity to do that if you work just with your local Latvian companies. So that's great. That's it from my side. Thanks. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want. I answer my email, so I try to basically do the things which I say in presentation and get back to the people. So thanks.
Right, thank you so much for having to be here and to really share your story. We had actually multiple wishes for connecting with you and sharing the story also with students here in Latvia. So your LinkedIn is going to have
I hope I will get a lot of invitations.
It's
right
like
after
70 at the moment, but currently rising as we're going to...
On LinkedIn, yeah? Okay, cool.
Yes, definitely. And we have several questions for you as well. What mass media advertising does Printful use? We have a story about your competitors, Print, that claims it has reached over 1.1 billion in sales and revenues attributed to television advertising in 2022 in the US. It's still apparently big in the US, so how do you go about it?
So yeah, that's a big company. So basically, and it's a little bit jealous, like when I just went to the US and turned on TV, when I was in my hotel room, I just basically see foreign print, customing, TV ads going there. So that's a big market. And if they have such a big revenue, they also have more money to actually spend on TV ads, because it's still probably the easiest way how to capture big, large audience, which they're basically aiming for. But if you are a smaller brand, so we still most of our ads are online. So Google, Facebook, TikTok, and other channels. So that's what we try to do. And now, if we want to start with TV ads, we start with YouTube. We start with digital, and our audience is a little bit narrow than for imprints or Vistaprint there. So we are playing a little different game, but I'm watching them as well. So I would like to have my. If in Latvia, my dream was to actually brand a tram, which now I see passing my office, and then in the US is basically run a TV ad.
Fantastic. I remember we had actually a very good seminar on the usage of TikTok and how Printful goes about it. And I remember that you have TikTok people in-house that actually create content. So that is definitely something to watch out for as well. We also have a question to clarify, does Printful own their own production facilities or are they outsourced? So
primarily we are managing our own. I would believe that more than 90% of orders are fulfilled in our own facilities. So that's the main difference between us and competitors, because our advantage is that we can go and basically see the production. We are in much more control of the process if something goes out of stock. And again, it's also advantage we want to work with those big, large brands. They immediately bring you a lot of volume. So why would they work with middlemen? And they can come to our facilities. We can be pretty transparent. And have to basically mention ESG, which is now a trendy topic with any big company. So they also want to make sure that your company is legit. If you're outsourcing something, it's much harder and much more challenging to actually make sure what's happening there. So there's a reason why, if I don't know, a couple of years ago H&M was hiding where they're managing production, now we probably can see that still on their website, and they're super transparent with that.
Yeah, things are definitely changing. We also have a question from Mazaron that was a participant in the last mini spotlight, in the very first one for the roundtable event, and they have a very good question. Can you share a humorous story or mishap related to entering the U.S. market? Something to look out for us runners up. I love this question.
So probably like it's I will try to sound correct, because you have to be cautious what you print on the t-shirt when you do marketing. There's some certain things you can't basically print on the t-shirt, like for the marketing photo shoot. It's banana was also watermelon. Some of the things, though, you have to be cautious, have to understand what's happening within the market, so why you shouldn't advertise something within the product. So that's probably one of the things, and probably not maybe related to the U.S. market, is maybe a little bit scaling pain. Very often we used to be generalists, like on the marketing team, everyone did anything. So if they created content, they scheduled email, they pick a segment, did everything. And meaning that if you have to be in charge with so many things, some things can go wrong. And when I joined Printful, and if in Latvia, the worst thing you could do would run a wrong TV ad, that's pretty expensive to do that. While with basically Printful, you can send a wrong email address to the wrong customer. And we made that mistake. So we made a pretty expensive mistake, which probably will cost millions of dollars in the future. But that pushed us to add double approval process. That pushed us to become more specialist. So now there's a person who creates the content, there's now email who sends an email, pick the right segment, because they do that better. And when you're such a big business, it's now good to invest in things that you don't make that mistake. You can't allow that mistake to happen again. It's worth paying that money. And you become a little bit slower because of that, but that's the risk you have to take. And it's basically now in some way we are challenging now the process we implemented to go a little bit back and to be a little bit agile.
Definitely. Talking about the future, where do you see Printful in the U.S. in 3 to 5 years?
Still there.
Well, definitely, but
so still, I would say like it can't change, so it still be our core market. So, and one thing we are now going through, like before that, it was those handball clubs, it was different communities, and would like to see that any company, any enterprise company, the words which the brands which I shared on the last slide, would use print on demand. So I believe that's the future. Like it's comes together, because if you do some manufacturing, you can do that in bulk somewhere else, and some of the things will probably go to waste if you're not maybe printing Barbie merch at this point. And we offer this flexibility that everything happens on demand. So basically everything what we produce is already sold to someone. So still probably be cautious what you buy, but if you do that, that's the best way. So I would imagine that any company would at some point will use print on demand, will use Printful.
Definitely. In the very beginning, you said that you are building Latvia's brand abroad as well. How can Mission Latvia help you? How can we, the rest of the world, help Printful succeed?
Send back more people to Latvia. There's a lot of people working in Latvia, outside Latvia currently. I believe that development of Latvian companies and startup and what can we offer, because there's no research, but I can speak from my words. Printful is the best company working in Latvia because I work there. And because what we offer this international environment. Like I can work with any country in the world, work with the US market. And probably that is something people like while living abroad, because you can access that. And things has changed. Now you can get access to that while living in Latvia and working with these large brands. And if you need to go there, you can fly there for a couple of days, but it's not always necessary to work there. And you can actually mix and match that with people there. Like Tesla Lab, they still don't have any employees, but 60 plus of their revenue coming from the US market. So that's an example as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we're gonna stop here and wait for some further questions for the next seminars. And in a few years' time, we'll come back to your success and see how it has grown in the US.
Thanks, it was a blast. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for today. We had 4 fantastic speakers. We heard from the U.S. ambassador at the very beginning. We learned about the framework for Mission Latvia. And then we heard 2 very exciting enterprise stories and their export stories to the U.S. market from TestDev Lab and Printful. Tomorrow we are going to send you a very short Google document about your happiness with this webinar, and we really hope to see you in our future endeavors and future seminars and webinars as well. And make sure to check Spotlight Boston 2023. That is happening in 1 month in Spotlight Boston, Massachusetts, the US. So see you there, and all the best. Bye-bye.